Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
Tobi, Hight here joining us, our esthetician and Reiki practitioner. You can find her if you search for her. Third Eye Candy is the name of the company. We're excited that she's back here today to talk more about, well, herself, the work she does. Let's talk about her life. Let's talk about what's new and exciting. What she does is new and exciting, but I want to get to know her on a more personal level, if you don't mind. How are you today?
I'm good. How are
Good.
you?
I'm going to give you a tower reading. I'm joking.
Yeah. Oh
No, no.
my gosh, I would love that. I'm like, yes.
No, it's okay. But just a little bit about your background. It's important for people to know. I mean, this woman, well, you taught me a lot about emotion coding, which I really didn't know much about. We talked about Reiki that you do, aesthetics, tarot readings, and just give us a little overview of who you are, and we'll get into some good conversation today.
Yeah, so my name's Toby. I've been in business for 15 years. I live in Oklahoma. Um, I have been doing energy work for about 4 years, is when I got
Hmm.
certified and started looking into energy work. I'm recently studying emotion code, which has been super fascinating to me. So, yeah, I just do all things self-care, self-love, and all the good vibes. That's the kind of stuff that I'm into.
Great. And where are you based out of?
Oklahoma, Choctaw, Oklahoma.
Perfect. And what's the weather like in Oklahoma right now?
Hot and humid.
Same here. That's why my hair looks like this. How hot is hot?
It gets in the hundreds.
Okay, that is hot. I didn't realize that hot. Okay, we're like 90 today. Oh my gosh.
Where are you at?
I'm in Long Island, New York. That's where I live. But you know, New York's everyone knows New York City. So when you say New York, they think I live in New York City, which I don't anymore. I used to. But so New York, it's like yeah, it's great.
So I just drove through New York for the first time
What?
in June, like the middle of June. Yeah. And this was at like 5 in the morning by the time we were getting to New York.
Uh-huh.
So I kind of saw the city from the window, we just passed through that state. But so what's New York like? I'd love to know. Or what's
Well,
Long
okay.
Island?
Well, here's the deal. When you talk New York, right? So everyone, when you hear from New York, they go, "Oh my gosh!" And you're right away. You think about the skyscrapers, the big buildings, and Broadway and theater, and like the life of every movie. And it's funny because there's so much more to New York than just the city, and people may not know that. Like I don't know much about Oklahoma, which I hope to learn about. But you have, I mean, it's so vast. Most of New York is a huge state, and we call it upstate. And it's like a lot of country, a lot of farm, a lot of beauty, at lakes. I live on Long Island, which is an hour east of New York City, right? So it's an island that hangs out. People heard of the Hamptons. That's where all the celebrities go. I live like an hour away from that. I live like halfway in Long Island, but really far out towards the end is like where like those cool beaches are. And there's a place called Montauk. It's beachy, it's beautiful. The Hamptons are crazy, very upscale, but also low key. But I don't go out there much because it's like hard with traffic and with kids.
Yeah.
But Long Island is like, I live in suburbs, right? So local little communities, it's good for families. It's suburbs, it's really what it is. But it's becoming a little more crowded, even though I live an hour east of the city. People used to think where I live is like the farmland. I grew up in Farmingville, right? Um, but it's not farmland, and now it's getting more populated. I guess with everything as you around a city, right? Everyone starts to move out because it gets so expensive. But
Right.
it's still to me, it's more country than anything. So people always think New York, like I must be having like designer bags and like dressed like I'm Sex in the City. I'm like, no, no, I don't even own like a serious bag or like a real like expensive shoe. That's not me. But to me that sounds city. So people always assume that I'm city, but I'm more country than city. Like I used to have a condo in Nashville, and I just
Yes.
love Nashville. I want to live there. I sold
Oh,
the
me
condo to
too.
buy this house. You do? Oh my gosh. So have you been to Nashville then too?
Yes, I went there last summer and I love it. It's like to me, and I'm sure there's different parts of Nashville too, but to me, it was like a country Vegas. Like it's very fun, the nightlife, the music, but it's like country, which is how I grew up. So I love Nashville.
Yeah, well, see, we have that in common. So exactly, yeah, you know what Nashville's like, but I will tell you it has changed. I was there a year ago myself, and it's more downtown is so much more booming with even like higher level like bars and like 3, 4 level tier bars. It's more of like a circus now. But back in the day, it was that was a quainter, smaller town, but the suburbs around it where I have friends that live, beautiful. I just love the people, love the atmosphere, and to have a
Yeah.
little party scene like that. But that city's like huge now. I should have kept my condo, but I had to sell it. Oh, my condo. This is a cool fact if you just want to just talk, right? Because
Yeah.
I lived in the Adelicia. If you Google the Adelicia, Taylor Swift lives in the penthouse. I bought a
Wow.
1 bedroom for like 200 and something thousand, like in 2007. I mean, not that
Nice.
I put that money down. I took out a mortgage and I was like, all right,
Yeah.
it's like an investment of 1 little bedroom, right? She ends up in like the penthouse, which is worth like millions now. And even like my 1 bedroom is probably worth like a million now. And I'm like, what? Anyway, but I just love the people there. I just love nice people. And I
Yeah.
find New York City, I find that people aren't so nice. Like everyone's so busy in their suits walking to work and like hustle bustle. That's just not me. So I used to work in the city, but I used to love to get out. Now I have kids. Last place I want to be is New York City. Too much.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering because you're right. I mean, that was my first time to the East Coast or the New England area in general. And I kind of have that stereotype of that area. Like people have stereotypes of me being from Oklahoma, you
Yeah.
know? Just think of the hustle and bustle in the city and the prices, and people have to have 5 jobs to make ends meet. So, yeah, this is refreshing to hear.
Yeah, but it's true. A lot of those people in the city, I would never want to live there. Like there's paying like or like for like a studio, it's like $3,000 a month. And so it's just I don't like it. I don't like it. It's good to visit for the holidays. It's good to say you went to see, like, but I don't know how people live there unless you're like a millionaire, maybe like and
Right.
like a celebrity, you have like a serious house like in Tribeca. I just don't know. It crowds overwhelm me. So city
Me,
is not my thing.
all the people. I mean, I like being social, but when I come home, I need it to be quiet,
And
you know?
tell me in relation to where you are in Oklahoma from the big city.
So Oklahoma City actually encompasses the suburb that I live in. It's weird. Like I live in a suburb and the city is called Choctaw, but for whatever reason, like Oklahoma City actually surrounds a lot of those. It's very
Interesting.
complicated.
Well,
Yeah, so
what I'm gonna do now, I'm just gonna pull it up on a map so I could look at you. Is that okay?
yeah.
Thanks. Images. Friday Night Farmers. What's this? I'm looking at 10-acre Lake Park. The
Yes.
Windrift Orchard. Okay,
So
okay,
that is
okay.
just a few miles from where I live. So I'm outside of city limits, which is nice because you can
I
build
see.
fires and you don't have to have all the permits and everything, and you don't have a city bill. We have wells out here. And so yeah, it's a little more freedom, a little more country, a little more space in between people. I like that.
Do you go to the Windrift Orchard Produce Retailer?
No, what is that? You're
I
you're teaching me something.
it shows Choctaw, then it shows this place called Windrift Orchard Produce. It looks like a farm. Then Harrah to the right. I guess that's another city.
There's a lot of farms and ranches out here. There
Okay.
is quite a bit of farmland. Yeah, and I actually, when I was growing up, we had a ranch. It was about an hour and a half east of where I live now. But we had a ranch in Hinton, a big ranch where we raised cattle
Oh
and
my
bred
gosh.
horses and grew crops and everything. I mean, I didn't, I was the kid,
But
right?
still, that is so cool. That's country. That's farmland. That's what I want.
It
That's
was,
what.
yes, those memories are like my prized childhood memories of like, riding around on the farm on the four-wheelers, and we had a little shooting range and just all the like country living stuff, playing in the creek while my dad plowed all day. And I loved that. I mean, it was such a great way to grow up. Of course, I mean, I'm sure a lot of people would love to have that for their kids to experience. I do. I wish I could have that for my kids to experience, my future children, my non-existent children.
No, I got it. I got it. So where you live, is it like suburbs? Is it condos? Is it like apartments? Like what are the homes like? Like, yeah, just to get a feel for where you are.
Yeah, so the homes, I mean, the homes that I live in my area, they're like 1 acre lots, but
Okay.
they're all still plots of farmland. But like what you're saying, how the city, it's like expanding out into the suburbs. So I grew up in this town and there was nothing. There was literally a Brahms and a Sonic. We didn't even have a Walmart.
Wow.
You know
Oh
what
my
I mean?
gosh.
Now we have
Yeah.
a hotel and a Walmart and every fast food and all the restaurants and stuff. And so it's grown a lot too. It's just constantly growing. They're developing, they're knocking down a lot of the people are selling their acreage, and more additions are going in. It's really developing.
Wow. So, I mean, how do you feel about that? Is it good and
It's
bad or right?
I mean, I love Choctaw. I have a biased opinion, but also I've had great experiences here. But of course, with it getting busier and busier, I want to have more and more space from people. So I wouldn't mind, you know, renting this place out eventually and buying something with more land.
Do you have like a Starbucks near you?
Yes.
I was just going to ask because no, I'm just like, how rural are you? Do you have Targets and Starbucks and Walmarts? Yes.
Yes. Yes, we do now, but this is all
Oh,
new. We're like really upgrading.
okay. Because now I'm going to Google Starbucks in your hometown.
Yeah.
What
I'm
road is it on? I want to get an idea of where you are without, I'm not asking you for your address, but
23rd Street by the
oh,
Walmart.
okay. 14307 Northeast. Okay. See outside. Okay. I'm seeing photos of the Starbucks. I'm seeing where you like the area. Oh my gosh. Is there an Arby's there?
Yes.
Yes, I could see. So this is so cool.
All of that is brand new. We've gotten all of that in the last 5 years.
Yeah, oh, I
So,
got my camera fell. Sorry. Oh my gosh, I'm totally stalking you without stalking you.
oh, I love it. Now
I
I'm
would.
so interested in Long Island because I've been traveling out to Rhode Island and on an island of Rhode Island, Aquidneck Island. So I'm wondering if it's kind of the same weather because I go out there once a month now.
Oh
So
my gosh.
I'm trying to get a feel of what the life is like. I know that Long Island is probably different from that island, but
Well, watch. You type in Starbucks, Farmingville. Look at Farmingville. I live in a town called Holtzville, but go to Farmingville, and so you could see like where I live. I'll show you. I'll just say where I live.
is
Ready?
that the town that you grew up in, or that's
I
the
grew
town
up
you
in Farmingville and I live in like the
No
next
way.
town over now. Yeah. So Farmingville, there's a Starbucks in Farmingville. You can get an idea. Is there pictures? But I don't mind. There's the outside of our Starbucks. I feel like if you could see a shopping center, it gives you like a little, like they're building. Oh my gosh, you know what's next to our Starbucks now? We got the City MD, we got Applebee's across the street, we got McDonald's. Now they're doing, there's an LA Fitness, there's a Chick-fil-A coming,
Oh, you
which
got
is
a
like,
Chick-fil-A? We have not gotten a Chick-fil-A yet.
yes, everyone's like hopping, getting excited about it. Like it's so funny because I don't know, I'm not a big Chick-fil-A person myself, but everyone's like all excited about it. I don't know why. I was going to ask. So it's not Oklahoma thing?
Oh, we love Chick-fil-A. We
Oh,
call it
you
God's
do.
chicken. Do you
Oh,
guys?
yes, you do. Okay, so I thought you said there wasn't one near you. I'm sorry.
No, no, no. They're here. They just haven't made it to Choctaw yet.
Got it. Got it. Exactly to
We're
your
not
area.
that big. We're not that big yet.
Got it. Oh my goodness. So on a norm, like what is like daily life like in Oklahoma? Why would someone want to come where you are? I'm just curious. I like the idea of moving and but I have two kids now. Like how do you find somewhere to go? And it's like there's so many places in the world I want to visit, I want to see, I want to know. And so it's so good to talk to people who are outside, my little web of Long Island.
Yes. So, okay. I think the best part about Oklahoma, aside from the prices, are the people. It's still very much that small town feel a lot of where you go because people are so friendly. But also we have what's called Bricktown. We have a canal now, and they've built a lot of restaurants and bars, and they have a river sport where they have different activities, river sport activities, kayaking, zip lining, those type of things. And then we have tons of lakes. That's the thing to do around here. Lakes.
Oh, is there like pontoons? Like what do you do? Boats?
Oh
Like
yeah.
what?
Yes. Pontoons, tri-toons. Some people do the wakeboarding and the kneeboarding and stuff like that. Those kind of boats.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, and what else do rodeos?
Oh
Rodeos
my
are
gosh, we don't have that. So we have beach. See, the cool thing about Long Island is there's beach. So you have the North Shore, which is closer to Connecticut, which is further up, like towards like Rhode Island in a sense, but like rocky. Then you have the real Atlantic Ocean on the other side, and that's like 20 minutes away from us. So I like that we have beach and we have the city close. We have a little bit of everything for everyone.
Do you guys spend a lot of time at the beach?
No, don't. Do I look, I'm pale. No, I got a pool last year, which is great for the kids. And I live in a little gated community that has a pool and a little tennis court and stuff. It's great for people with kids. My girlfriend moved in here 20 something years ago, told me about it. I didn't have kids then. I should have bought back then when it was like $150,000 to buy a house. Instead, I waited till 7 years ago when it was like quadruple, more than that, the price.
Oh,
But
God.
Yeah, but it's a little community called Summerfield, and it's funny. It's just I don't. You find out when you have kids, it's like then work comes and raising kids. Like I don't have time to do much stuff, but I like traveling. But the beach is kind of close, but you take it, I guess, for what's the word for granted because you don't really go. I haven't been to the beach at all yet on Long Island this summer. How's that sound?
Well, it flies by too, the time. It's like
Hmm.
have, the pool and the tennis court, and my friends have their friends. Are there a lot of kids in your neighborhood?
All kids, yeah. It
That's
is.
nice.
It's a great kid spot. My kids are 7 and 9. They ride their bikes. They're friends. There's a clubhouse. There's a playground. There's a lot of
Oh,
kids and a big turnover in this neighborhood for people with kids who are buying the houses and redoing them. They're 20 something years old now, but like there's a lot. There's a lot of kids. That's what's the one good thing about it.
that's fun. So have your kids gone back to school?
No, we start a little
No.
later in the Northeast. Yeah, I think you all start like now, right?
Yeah, we
Um,
started last week.
oh, you did? Okay. Well, we start after Labor Day,
Oh, that's
always.
way better. I never understood why are we starting in the middle of summer? It's still summer. I mean, I know Labor Day, but that's getting a little closer to fall.
I know. I don't know what's better because then we're in school till like the end of June. You guys are out probably like beginning of May. So
Mm,
I don't know. I don't know. But I never understood why that's not on the same schedule. I don't get it.
no. So what's your school districts like?
Well, you can Google as well if you'd like. Sachem, okay, listen to this. You probably you come from a small town. How many people were in your graduating class from high school? Do you remember?
Okay, so here's the weird thing. Here's the anomaly about Choctaw. It's
Uh,
a small town because there's like farmland and I guess it has a small town feel, sorry. It has a
okay.
small town feel, but we always had a 6A school. Do you
What does
guys do
six A what does 6A mean? I don't even know what that means.
Okay, so here we rate our schools by like 1A, 2A, 3A, and 6A is the biggest school district. So I
Oh.
graduated with like 650 kids.
Oh, what? Okay. See, I graduated with like 1,350 kids. And people, yeah, it's pretty big. Still to this day, it's like about 1,200 or so. But wow. Okay. See, I was like, oh, she probably graduated with like 100 people just
Yeah,
because we
so
assume.
our neighboring towns that are,
Hmm.
15, 20 minutes away, they are like 3A and they might have 60 people in their graduating class. So it's a huge difference. So I'm just right. It's that weird thing where the city encompasses the town and suburb that I
Yeah.
live in, like still city, but it's just a little bit more country land type of feel.
Got it. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. This is so cool. I'm learning more. I'm learning more.
But our school districts, from what I hear, our ratings are not great. We're at the very like bottom of the barrel. So I wonder what other like school systems are like. Are you guys happy with your school system out there?
Absolutely. Public schools out here are amazing, but like
Hmm.
the closer you live to the city, I'm going to say this like just off cuff, but there's a lot of like richer people that live in like I live in a town called Suffolk County, and it's like, well, it's the county. The next count over is Nassau County. Then you have Queens and New York City. So when you get closer to the city, property's more expensive. I live out where it's not as expensive, right? Even though it's getting more expensive. But what was I trying to say about that? Schools. Um, so the people who live closer to the city, and this is just stereotype, it's not true, but there's some people who have a lot of money in like nice areas. They send their kids to like all these private schools and stuff. I don't know why. They say Long Island in general has like some of the best school districts, and the teachers make like I'm telling you, like a minimum salary for a teacher is like $100,000, and people are making more than that as teachers, like very good salaries here.
Good,
And
yeah.
also, our taxes are very high. My taxes are like $15,000 a year in my house, and I only have zero point 0.3 acres.
Wow, the property taxes. So yeah, your school district is getting
A
some
lot.
money.
Yeah, so I see that on the breakdown of taxes and it's like, wow. But yeah, like I don't like my grew up on it. My house was where my parents were, like their house is probably worth like maybe $500,000 now, 1 acre. And my mom's passed, my dad, my sister lives there. Their taxes are like 14,000. So it's like the taxes just keep going up and up and up. Are taxes big there?
My property taxes have been $3,000 a year for the past few years.
That's what it was like in Nashville.
And I have a little over an acre here.
Yeah, that's the one problem about New York. Taxes
Oh,
are too high and it's causing everyone to like move. That's
yeah.
crazy. It's
Right.
crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. So does it go to the schools, do you think?
I don't know. to be honest. I mean, there's a breakdown on like your tax form that shows you it goes to the cops, it goes to the schools, but a lot goes to the school districts because the teachers make really good money. Yeah.
Yeah. I think our teachers make about 45.
Yeah. Like I said, like 100, I think here. So, but then everything's in price comparison because then what you have to rent there's probably cheaper than what it is here, you know? Homes are probably cheaper here. It depends what we're talking about. But yeah, you do the cost comparison of what you make an hour. Like, oh, I was just at the supermarket the other day. They're hiring at the supermarket. We have super stop and shops. Did you ever hear of them?
Mm.
It's starting at $17 an hour. My brother's in North Carolina. He says it starts at 14 an hour. So I don't know where like Oklahoma would be.
I honestly, I don't know. I haven't had a normal job in so long. I'm not sure what the minimum wage or rates.
Wages.
I mean, I know at like on cues, those are pretty good jobs, and they usually start around $15 an hour.
Okay. Yeah.
Do you guys have on cue?
No, we don't. But
They're
I've heard.
really nice gas stations.
That's like our quick checks. Yep.
Yeah.
Or Wawas in New Jersey. They have Wawas. We have BP. Yeah, but I've heard of them before, but I've never been.
Yeah. So yeah. I wonder what's minimum wage? Is that something that goes across the board, the United States?
No, it's each state's different. Like our minimum wage in New York, I think it's like 17. Do you mind if I just take a peek? Watch. Let me just go on off you 1 second. Look, minimum wage. Well, hold on. Let's do it this way. Minimum wage, New York. I'll do us first, and then let's do Oklahoma. Minimum wage, the AI generator. Well, it says minimum wage is $16 per hour in New York City, Nassau, Suffolk, and Westchester counties. Okay. Hold on. Minimum wage. I'm going to do Oklahoma, or should I do Oklahoma City?
Oklahoma.
Oklahoma, 2024 is $7.25 an hour.
See,
Wow.
I didn't know
Wow.
that was still a
That's
thing. I've heard of that. I've heard
Wow.
of that.
Wait,
It's
so 7
$7?
compared to 16. Okay.
No, but even with our prices being so much lower, the cost of living, there's no way someone could support a child or even pay their bills on that. There's no way.
Like would it cost to rent like a 1 bedroom or own a house there? Like what's like the basics? It's
You know,
crazy.
I think to rent even an apartment, most apartments are at least $1,000 a month.
Yeah, have to be, right? Ugh. Now I'm gonna look up real estate near you. Like where I live, the house that I live in is it was, I guess, the built, if I would have bought it 25 years ago, it would have been like 150,000. When I bought it was 580,000. I have a mortgage, but now it's
Mm.
worth like 800 and something thousand. And it's like, what? How is that possible? It's not, I
Wow.
don't live in like a huge house. No, it's like 2,600 square feet. It's like, no, it's not a big house at all. So I'm trying to
Honestly,
get,
this blows my mind because I don't understand either. I mean, I'm grateful because I was able to make some money off the house that I sold and like
hmm
upgrade, you know? But at the same time, I'm like, if at this rate,
yeah.
in 20 years, how is anyone going to be able to afford anything if, the minimum wage is seven something an hour? And if, it
Well,
just is.
I'm on Choctaw Road. There's a house, beautiful house for $345,000 on Wow. 300,000, 430,000. There's 185,000 for but I'm looking at homes in this area just to get an idea. Oh, this one's 275. It's beautiful. 415. Wow. Wow. The style is
Yeah.
similar to us too. So your price, this new farmhouse is 590,000 on Southeast 10th Street in Choctaw. But so I'm seeing like 200,000 to like, oh, here's one for 685. Wow. So
Yes. My neighborhood is a little bit older, so my house was built, I think 99. I
okay.
paid I paid $255,000 for it.
Okay.
But area, there's quite a bit of money and people have great houses, $500,000 and
Oh,
up.
I just see one on Old Lantern Way for 628,000. Holy mansion. Oh my gosh, it's gorgeous. Do
No,
you know
there are some beautiful houses out here, and some of them are on little ranches too. Like some of them are these nice houses, and they're on, you know,
enormous?
good little spots. Yeah, it is a great place to live. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh,
If I moved, I totally would be homesick. I think
yeah.
about. I mean, it's not that I don't want to, but sometimes just the culture, I'm
Oh,
like,
I
oh,
get it. And
it's
your
my
family and
home,
friends.
peaceful. Yes.
So when do you come back to Rhode Island?
Next week for Labor Day.
Oh my gosh. And where in Rhode Island specifically? Like,
Okay, Aquidneck Island. It's Newport.
yeah, of course I know Newport.
It's Portsmouth is where I'm staying.
Oh my God,
Well, I'll
it's
be staying in
beautiful.
Newport some of the time.
Oh my God, Newport, Rhode Island. There's the steakhouse, Bowen's 22. Bowen's it's at the dock there. Bowen's 22 Steakhouse.
Ooh.
Bowen's, what is it? Oh my gosh, Bowen, that's the name of the plane. Oh my God, hold on, Newport, hold on. I love that we're just having a cool conversation today. 22 Bowens. Wine 22 Bowens, Bowen. Yes, yes. It's right there on the water in Newport. I love that place.
Oh my gosh, I can't wait.
Oh my gosh. Well, enjoy.
Do you think it's like 80s there too? Because when I was there, it was very mild weather last
Yeah,
time.
it's
Does it not
frizzy.
get hot?
Yeah, it gets hot like in the 90s and stuff too, just like New York. It's very similar to us for sure. Oh gosh, we're out of time. We're just
Yep.
talking away. I didn't even realize this. Oh my God. How do we contact you? Are we back again next week? I
Yes.
forget. Toby, love you. Okay, how do we call you? Reach out to you for
Okay.
tarot readings for our
You can contact me on my Instagram, _candy, and that's the best way to get a hold of me. You can message me, you can book with me, you can schedule a consultation, anything you want.
All right, I'm gonna come visit you. You got what's the
Yeah.
nearest airport? Oklahoma City?
Yes.
Perfect. All right, because I want to I want to do like a whole stop in Torrance, like go to like stay somewhere, see places, but I need to know someone in a town. Even like
Yeah.
you don't have time to like hang out with me. You could say hi quick, show me the Starbucks, but like
I can show you around.
I want to make a trip like to everywhere. Like I know people in different states and I never travel enough. So then when you come to Long Island, same here. You can come here, stay here, say hi, and we'll chat. Okay, we'll talk next week. Sorry, you got to go, Toby. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Bye.
Are you looking for even more of the podcasts and hosts that you love? The Podcast Business News Network is proud to announce that you now have even more ways to listen live. Check out the MyTuner Radio, online radio box, and Simple Radio apps on iOS and Android, or find us online. Search for Business News Network on mytuner-radio.com, or search Podcast Business News Network on streama.com and onlineradiobox.com/US. Take your podcast on the go and don't miss a minute of the action.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, I mean, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house.
And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned. This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.